So let us study the first lesson of Literature Reader First Flight, a letter to God. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. Crest means top of a hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn makai, dotted means fully grown, with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, means a heavy rain, or at least a sour means mild rain. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northwest. So from the morning he was looking towards the northwest of the sky to he was hoping to get uh, a little rain. Lenko had grown corn in his fields and desperately needed rains to save his crops from dying. He would still sit at all day at the top of the hill and watch his corn crop. If rains did not come, it would die. Rains would mean a bright future for his family and certainly no starvation. That's why he was uh, looking at the north east. Now we are really going to get some water women. Women, his wife. The woman who was preparing supper, evening meal, replied, "Yes, God willing." The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the women called to them, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal that, just as Lencho has predict करना, पूर्वानुमान करना, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Approaching means coming. The air was fresh and sweet. The man, Lencho, went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. So he was enjoying the rain. So, in order to enjoy the rain, he went out. And when Lencho returned, he exclaimed to his wife. He said, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5." Raindrops uh, portended a good crop. They ensured food for his family and money for the rest of the year. Thus, Lanko is right in comparing the raindrops to coins, which would bring money and good fortune for his family. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of reap corn with its flowers, draped means covered, in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstorms began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen petals. "It is really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. "I hope it passes quickly." What passes quickly? The hailstorm. It, it did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house. But as expected by and hoped by Lenko that the rain would pass within a very soon, the hailstorm continued for an hour. It rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. And as an impact of this continuous hailstorm, the field was white as if covered with salt. What was the devastating impact of the rain, the hailstorm on the field? The narrator describes. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locust, a plague of locusts. Locusts are insects who generally eat the grains. Particularly, they destroy the crops. Here, a plague of locusts is a collective noun for locusts. So he, addressing his sons, Lencho said, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. Lencho had prayed for rains for a long time. When it came with a furious hailstorm which lasted long and devastated his crop of corn. His earlier delight changed to misery and mortification, as all his effort and time had proved to be in vain. So, all our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We shall all go hungry this year. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, solitary means single only, in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, and that was hope from God. God would help them. Don't be so upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember no one dies of hunger. It is their trust on God. So, consoling his wife and children, Lencho tells them that no one dies of hunger and God will help them. That is what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everywhere. He is omnipresent and can see, God can see everywhere. Even he can feel what is going on in the hearts of all those who love him and who have strong faith for him. Even what is deep in one's conscience. Lencho was an ox of a man. Ox of a man means he was a hard-working man. Like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. So, Lencho is a diligent farmer. He had grown crop in his field and was waiting for rains anxiously. He was very happy when the rain finally came, but it later turned to worry as the rain became a hailstorm and destroyed his fields. He had deep faith in God, and despite the destruction of his crop, he was hopeful that everything would be right. That is what they say, no one dies of hunger. Lenko was an ox of a man working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. And thus goes on the letter. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos. Pesos is a currency of Latin American countries. In order to sow my field again, sow my field means cultivate my field again, grow crops, and to live until the crop comes. Because the hailstorm, and after the hailstorm there are full stops, 3 stops to continue the rest of the words, and last one as a full stop. He wrote, God, He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled, went to town. In the letter, Lenko described his plight at the destruction caused to his crops by the hailstorm. He went to the city and mailed the letter through the post office. Thus, his action proves his unwavering conviction that God would help him. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. Lenko came back to his house. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. The postman laughed as he found it hilarious because no one writes letter to God. He was amused by the simplicity of the writer of that letter. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable, friendly, and pleasant fellow, also broke out laughing. But almost immediately he turned serious and, tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God." Please underline it. Very, very important for examination point of view. What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. And what was the idea? He decided to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer he needed something more than goodwill, ink, and paper. But he stuck to his decision. He asked for money. The postmaster was touched by the simple and strong faith of Lenko. So he did not have the heart to shatter his illusion. Thus, the postmaster proves to be a kind and sensitive man who admires Lencho's simple faith and decides to help him. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and other friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. It was impossible for the postmaster to gather together 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer, Lencho, only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lenko and write it, and with it a letter containing only a single word as signature of God. Since the childlike Lenko had addressed the letter to God, the postmaster was not willing to disillusion him, and that's why he signed as God. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment means satisfaction, of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise. Even the post officials and the postmaster, they all were thinking that being a normal common human being, he would be obliged and grateful to them, but it all didn't happen from Lencho's side. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. Since Lencho had unwavering faith in God's help, so he was not at all surprised on seeing the money. Rather than being surprised, Lencho was angry at the dishonest employees of the post office, who he assumed must have pocketed the missing money, for he was convinced that God couldn't have sent him half the amount he had asked for. But he became angry when he counted the money. God couldn't have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. He had requested for 100 pesos. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write. With much writing, with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp which he licked and then affixed. सटा देना, लगा देना, affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. अपने मुट्ठी के प्रहार से थूक लगा के उसको लगा दिया और मुट्ठी से उसको स्टैंप को लगा दिया. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. उत्सुकता पराकाष्ठा पर थी पोस्टमास्टर की. वो सिंपैथी नहीं दिखाया, पोस्टमास्टर ने इम्पैथी दिखाई. वो सोच रहा था लेंको कृतज्ञता का भाव दिखाएगा, लेंको उसके प्रति आभार व्यक्त प्रकट करेगा. लेंको किंतु लंको आभार प्रकट क्या करता, गुस्सा दिखाया, चोर तक कह दिया उसने. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. And thus goes on the second letter of Lencho. God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. See the last line. कहा, God of the money that I asked for, हे प्रभु, जो पैसा हमने आपसे मांगा था उसमें से केवल 70 पेसोस मेरे पास पहुंचे हैं, बाकी बचा 30 पेसोस, 30 पेसोस सेंड मी, मेरे पास भेज दो. It seems that a dialogue is going on between two earthly creatures. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Crooks, cheats, धोखेबाज. Collective noun for cheats, crooks, a bunch of crooks. कहा कि मेल से मत भेजिएगा, चिट्ठी पत्री मत लिखिएगा प्रभु. ये सब जो है ना, वो धोखेबाज हैं, चुरा लेते हैं, पिक पॉकेटर्स हैं. लेंचो. Lencho thought that the employees of the post office were dishonest, as he assumed that they must have pocketed the missing money, for he was convinced that God couldn't have sent him half the amount he had asked for. His simple and credulous nature and his unquestioning faith in God's goodness is revealed in in these lines. In the opinion of Lencho, unlike God, men could be dishonest and deceitful. After receiving the money donated by the post office implies at the behest of the postmaster, Lenko was angry and wrote to God yet again and complained about the dishonest implies bunch of crooks of the post office, who he assumed must have pocketed the missing money, for he was convinced that the good God couldn't have sent him half the amount he had asked for. His plea to God for money is fulfilled by the postmaster and his subordinates who donate money to help him in his hour of need. Lenko quite humorously assumes that the officials are dishonest and have pocketed the 30 pesos and write another letter comically instructing God to refrain some from sending the money through the post office. Lenko comically assumes the post office people who bailed him out to be a bunch of crooks. The simplicity in Lenko creates humor in the story. Thank you.